Most students study for hours, but still forget everything. They sit there with their books open, highlighters in hand, eyes tired, coffee next to them, and yet, a week later, it's like their brain hit delete. Sound familiar? It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're not smart. It's because your brain doesn't care how long you study. It only cares how you study. And right now, most students are using methods that make them feel productive, but do almost nothing for real learning. Let me tell you about Daniel. He used to be the kind of student everyone called hard-working. He'd wake up early, open his textbooks, and stay up late rewriting notes. Every night, he'd tell himself, if I just study longer, I'll finally get it. But when exams came, his mind went blank. He remembered the color of the page, the shape of the paragraph, but not the actual information. That kind of frustration breaks your confidence. He started thinking maybe he just wasn't built for studying. Then, one afternoon, his teacher said something that changed everything. She looked at the class and said, "It don't learn by reading. You learn by remembering." That single line stuck with Daniel like glue. That night, he decided to try something new. Instead of rereading his notes like he always did, he tried to explain the topic to himself, as if he were teaching it to a class. At first, it was awkward. He forgot half of what he'd read. He stumbled, he paused, he checked his notes every 2 minutes. But something strange happened. The next day, when he opened his book again, the information started coming back faster. It was like his brain had finally decided, okay, this matters. What Daniel discovered, without realizing it, was a science-backed technique called active recall. It's simple. Instead of reviewing information, you retrieve it. You don't reread, you remember. And every time you struggle to recall, your brain strengthens the connections between neurons, like building muscle at the gym. That little struggle, that tiny moment of, oh, what was that again? That's the sound of your memory growing. Researchers at Washington University proved this years ago. They found that students who tested themselves after studying retained almost twice as much as students who only reread their notes. Why? Because rereading gives you recognition, not recall. You recognize the words, you feel familiar with the topic, and your brain says, yeah, I know this. But when the paper hits the desk on exam day, your brain freezes, because recognition isn't memory. Active recall changes that. When you close your book and try to explain what you learned to yourself, to a friend, or even to your wall, you're activating the hippocampus, the part of the brain that moves information from short-term to long-term storage. That's how you build real knowledge, not just, I've seen this before, but I can explain this anytime. But Daniel didn't stop there. He learned about another secret weapon, spaced repetition. See, your brain forgets in patterns. After one day, you lose about 50% of what you just learned. After a week, it's almost all gone. But every time you review something before you forget it completely, you slow down that curve. It's called the forgetting curve, discovered by psychologist Hermann Ebbinghaus. And the fix is simple. Review the same topic after 1 day, then after 3 days, then after a week. Each review takes less time because your brain remembers more each round. So Daniel built a system. He'd study for 25 minutes using the Pomodoro technique, short, focused sessions. Then he'd close his book, write down everything he could recall, check what he missed, and plan a short review for the next day. No endless rereading, no burnout, just smart, timed recall sessions. Within 3 weeks, Daniel's grades transformed. He wasn't staying up till 2 a.m. anymore. He wasn't cramming. He was actually enjoying studying because it felt easier, lighter, like progress was real this time. His friends thought he found a shortcut, but there was no shortcut, just science, and a smarter way to work with his brain instead of against it. He told me something that stuck with me. Once I stopped trying to remember everything, I started remembering more. And he's right. When you stop trying to force your brain and start training it the way it naturally learns, you unlock a different level of focus and retention. So here's your challenge. The next time you sit down to study, don't just open your book. Study for 25 minutes, then close it. Ask yourself, what did I just learn? Explain it, out loud, even if it feels weird. Then, check what you missed. Do that for 1 week, and you'll notice something amazing. You'll start remembering effortlessly. Because real learning doesn't happen when your eyes move across a page. It happens when your brain retrieves what's hidden inside. So study smart, not hard. And if this video helped you see studying differently, hit that subscribe button, because in the next one, I'll show you how to stay laser-focused for 2 hours straight without touching your phone. Let's make your brain unstoppable.